everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing very well. I'm going to be doing a first impressions, which this part I'm filming after I tried the makeup product, but it's going to be a first impressions, which I never do. And it is the $500 mini eyeshadow palette in the shade 020 Soft Rose Look. I have featured 2 other color stories of these on my channel in the past, but that was many years ago. And when I went into my drugstore the other day and I saw this color story, I don't know why in the past, I think I had seen it, but it just didn't really speak to me. But this time around it stood out to me because of this kind of muted soft mauve tone that it had, and I wanted to try it out. That is what we're going to be doing today, and yeah, I would say just let's get into it. What a weird intro. So this palette consists of 5 shadows, as the name suggests, which I think is such a good number for every day. I feel like when I have a palette with this amount of shadow, I just don't get overwhelmed and I do my makeup pretty quickly and I'm satisfied. I have to get ready in a hurry and I have a palette in front of me that has like double or triple the amount of the shadows. I just don't know what to do. Sometimes I have a certain vibe in my head that I want to go for, like when I wear something baby pink and I'm like, oh yeah, today I'm going to use baby pink only. Then I know what to focus on, but sometimes I'm lost, don't know what to do. If I take a big palette, it's only going to make matters worse and more difficult, which is why a palette like this I find is perfect for when you just don't know what to do. I would probably just take one of the crease colors, put it in my crease, add one of the shimmers on my lid. If I wanted something lighter, I'd probably go with this color. And if I wanted something darker, I'd probably go with this shade and do my eyeliner, smoke it out, add my mascara. I'm done. And yeah, today I am going to try this palette out for the first time. It's a first impressions, which I'm not usually a fan of. Sometimes I try something, it doesn't really work, and then I try it later the same week and suddenly it works. So enough of the palette in terms of little information, and let's jump into the demo part where you can see my initial impression of this palette, my initial reaction to how it blends and how it looks and yada yada. So the look I think that I'm going to be doing today is probably something where this shade is going to be all over the lid. Ever since I got this palette, that shade just stands out to me so much and I want to apply it all over, so I think that is what I'm going to do, at least something like that. As I always do, I start with a base color, so I'm taking the second shade and I'm going to apply this all over my lid and my crease. This isn't as light as how I would usually go for in terms of a base color, but since I am planning on applying a pretty dark shade on top anyways, I think we'll be able to make this one work. I already really like this color. It's like a soft, smoky tone, not too dark, so I actually really like this as like a base. Next I'm going to add a little bit more rosiness with this middle shade, and I think I'll keep this in my outer V and crease. I feel like this color has the right amount of mauviness and rosiness without being too much. Some tones tend to look very warm on my eye, even when they look kind of coolish. So I really like this color. It's so soft and muted. It's very pretty. Now I'm going to go in with that said color that I want to use all over the lid. I'm pretty sure it's going to be more of like a topper. Oh, it's so pretty. It reminds me so much of a shade that I love from the Etude Autumn Closet palette. That is, I don't know what the name is, but it is that like cool toned silver taupey kind of glitter topper. Oh, I did not expect it to be that intense, because usually this shade in these Catrice palettes, it's more of like a topper, and this one, oh wow. Oh, I'm so excited to put this on now. Ignore my little mirror that I always have in my bag, but I don't have any other mirror right now at my boyfriend's house, and none of my makeup items have a mirror. So this will have to do. Oh, shut up. Oh, shut up. Oh, it's such a beautiful color. It's not just taupey. When you look very closely, you can see a soft rose pink kind of shimmer in it, which you can see very well in the actual pan. Oh, I'm so impressed. This is so pretty. It also applies so smoothly and easily. I'm going back in with my brush to just lightly blend everything. To highlight my inner corner with this light color, which is nice and pearly in shade. It's nice and light. Oh yeah, that pops so much. I'm going to quickly do my eyeliner off camera, and then we'll be setting that with the darkest color, and I would say our eye makeup is done. Taking the darkest color, which usually these colors in these palettes don't disappoint. They're nice and deep, and I expect no less from this palette. So I am so happy with this palette. Going a little bit on the actual eyeliner, going a little bit above, so creates a smoky kind of effect and makes the eyeliner last all day. One thing that I'm noticing is that these tones are bringing out the brown in my eyes so much. I think it complements my brown hair and my brown eyes so well. I'm going to put on my mascara and we'll jump into my outro. So you guys, I just finished my eye makeup by adding mascara, and final thoughts. I'm shocked. I had certain expectations towards this palette because I have tried 2 other color stories in the past, but those I tried how many years ago? Probably 2 years ago, and I thought that this color story was going to be the exact same formula, but I just feel like this is even better. This shade right here, like the darkest shimmer in this palette, in these palettes better saying, they were usually more of like a topper, but this one is so intense in pigment, and it is not just like a topper. It actually has some color. It has a base color to it, which from the burgundy look palette that I had, it had like a beautiful warm toned rose, reddish kind of shimmer color, but it turned out to be always a little bit more soft than what it looked like in the pan. And I feel like this one translates a lot more to the eye. When I saw this from the 5 in a box, I really wanted to try these tones and see how they were, and I am so pleasantly surprised. I love these kind of transition shades, like they blended so easily, and I just am so happy that I got this palette. But really, this shade here blew me away because I was not expecting to like it as much. It's not too powdery, which I think that is one of the biggest differences between this palette and the other color stories that I've tried. I always felt like the golden nude look, which is the more neutral brown palette that they have, it felt quite powdery when I put my brush in, but I also have to say sometimes it comes down to the brush that we use. Like for instance, at the moment I am using my Zoeva 227 Luxe defining brush or something. It's like this smaller crease brush. It has softer bristles, so when I go into a shadow, I feel like it doesn't really disrupt the shadow as much. Whereas in the past, I was using a MAC brush that over the years has just gotten pretty stiff and spiky. It feels very uncomfortable on the eye, which is why I don't use it anymore. Which is a bummer because MAC brushes are pretty expensive. That was like 40 bucks just for a little crease brush. But that brush, when I go into eyeshadow, I feel like it breaks apart the eyeshadow so much because it has such hard bristles. So I feel like that also can make product just cake up more. But I feel like even aside of that, the formula is different. It feels smoother, it feels not as powdery in general. So I'm so happy with this. I'm so glad that I actually got it because this is pretty inexpensive if you can get this at your drugstore. I'm very excited to try a look where I put this all over the lid and just do a soft rose in the crease. It's just such a beautiful color story. I feel like this would be good for those of you who have a personal color type of summer mute, where you like cool tones but they can't be too light. You like something more muted and soft. I feel like this palette will be very suitable for those with a summer mute personal color type, or anyone who just enjoys a good kind of muted, smoky, soft kind of eyeshadow. It's difficult to explain. I feel like the shades speak for themselves. So pretty. I would totally recommend you try this out if you are into a softer shadow that is not overly pigmented. I personally like these types of shadows because I'm able to build them up and I don't have clown eyes right off the bat, and I'm just able to control how much I apply. Hope that my video was helpful for you to know if you should try it. If you did enjoy it, give me a thumbs up. It means so much to me, and I just really hope that I'll see you next week with a new video. And until then, please take care. Bye!